Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Was Like Edward Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
About 4 months after Naruto's attack that cost him his arm, life in Konohagakure had gotten a tiny bit better for the blonde demon carrier. Oh, he still got the sour looks and nasty treatment he got prior to Joshiro living with him, but at least now the attacks ceased, for the most part. The reason for this was that Joshiro, upon his first week, had taken a page out of the book of prison law. In an effort to immediately divert attacks from Naruto, he and Naruto walked through the city every day while he had his new little brother point out the most common offender to his piece so that Joshiro could dispose of him quickly. Flashback 2 weeks after Naruto's attack, 3 months ago. That's him, Nissan. Naruto pointed to rather portly middle-aged man with brown hair and beady black eyes. This mug is the ringleader of the people beating you, Ototo. Joshiro looked on, just wondering what he was going to do to embarrass this man. Yeah, Shiro, that's him. Now usually Naruto really never cared to remember the faces of his attackers, seeing as how nothing ever got done about the beatings and more pressing issues usually ran through his head during those times, namely surviving. Except in this instance Naruto remembered this man as this was the man whose knee had been injured when Naruto began defending himself that night. However, the man could not take a hint and was more dedicated to ridding his village of the demon following that night than he had been before. Joshiro's eyes narrowed as he began walking towards the man. Stay back, Naruto, don't need you getting hurt while this goes down, okay? Naruto nodded and lagged behind, heart fluttering as his nerves began to show. Joshiro had decided to take the subtle approach to beginning a conflict, walking through a crowded street, making his way towards the man. As he moved to pass him, he left his leg out while man walked past, resulting in a horrible fall. Gah! What the hell is wrong with you, brat? The man shouted out. Joshiro turned around with his signature smirk in place. Oh yeah, I guess I'm not really used to these big city streets yet, but hey, you're fine, I'm fine, it's all copacetic. The man stood back up to get in Joshiro's face to intimidate him. Oh really? Well, maybe I need to teach the little hick over here some city etiquette. Around here we apologize. What? People don't have courtesy for others in Jackfuckistan or wherever the hell you're from. Joshiro's features became hardened at this point. No, I just don't have any for guys like you, beating up little kids. The man looked incredibly offended and angry. What the hell are spouting now, punk? What kid? Naruto Uzumaki, you piece of shit, you and 30 others like you took something precious from him. Joshiro finally exploded before calming down slightly and continuing, and now if you want to mess with him, you have to deal with me, that's it, no more words, no more talk. I'm gonna make an example out of you right now. The man snapped at this point. Why is this brat defending the damn demon? Fine, if this little hick has a death wish then I guess I'll just teach him a lesson. You demon lover'll kill you myself. At this the man charged Joshiro, whom had at this point turned his smirk into a full Cheshire grin before taking a stance. His stance consisted of a high Muay Thai stance, left knee bobbing, fist set out ahead. Now Joshiro's mirth was not because he was about to fight, though that was a plus. No, it was because this guy thought it to be a good idea to charge him head on. Joshiro may be 9 years old, but having been dragging heavy carts and lifting and hauling heavy metals for the better part of at least 2 years, he was not by anyone's standards a weak person. When the man got in Joshiro's range, he first delivered a jumping knee strike to the man's head, sending him stumbling backwards. Rushing in, Joshiro pressed his opening by jabbing up the head and body of his assailant until he had regained his bearings. The man chose to grab the white-haired boy and throw him against the wall before a straight kick to the sternum stopped his momentum with a grunt, signifying air leaving his body. The end came when Joshiro clinched his hands around the man's neck, forcing his head into a pocket. With a series of simple twists and jerks, the man's body was at his will as he battered his face and skull with vicious rising knees until his legs gave out from under him. After KO'ing the man, Joshiro simply walked back to Naruto, took his hand, and walked him through the crowd and past the fallen man, showing the people if you mess with Naruto then you'll have a real issue to take care of. Naruto was floored by the efficient brutality of his Nissan. It wasn't extremely flashy, but damn if it didn't get the job done. If I could fight like that, then I'd have a serious advantage over a lot of people. Ni-san. That was awesome. You've got to teach me how to do that. It was amazing. That guy was like twice your size. Patting Naruto on his head, he chuckled. Kid, that was just a civilian. He had no skill in combat. An academy student could have beaten him up. But you have a point though. I have to train you. Someone does after all. Flashback end. And so Joshiro decided to teach Naruto the basics of Muay Thai kickboxing. Nothing too advanced. Naruto wasn't nearly strong enough for the clinching techniques yet. He did, however, learn the 8 points of contact theory, taught him good form, and gave him technique and a few combinations. The reason for the crash course on the basics was because he learned that Naruto had absolutely no talent in hand-to-hand combat. After their first session in the back of their apartment, Joshiro palmed his own forehead in disbelief. Naruto, I thought that you got attacked all the time. Naruto, bruised up from his particularly brutal spar with his new brother, looked up from the ground at him. I did, Ni-san. It happened all the time. Joshiro's sweat dropped at this discovery. How in the world has he survived so long fighting as poorly as he does? Kuso, this is going to be a pain. Alright kid, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. You suck. You really suck. You take more shots than you give, and that's a bad thing no matter what. Joshiro had restrained himself while sparring with Naruto. Even when he took to swinging his auto-mail arm, his trump in a fist fight, the punches and kicks were so telegraphed that Joshiro had to hold back from throwing out a kill shot counter. Naruto was confused by this, however. What do you mean, Ni-san? I put all my power in my attacks. Joshiro walked over, sat next to his brother. That's one of your problems. Power in your shots are good and all, but right now you should be focusing on making contact and hitting fast. You can't knock someone like me out at your level, so you should focus on technique right now. You're a natural hothead, so getting the technique down should help you keep focus, not just during a fight but in other parts of life too. Naruto was about to retort when Joshiro cut him off. Stop, right there, you were just about to talk shit, weren't you? You see, you're a hothead. You can't even take constructive criticism. Gomen, I just hate being looked down on, Shiro Ni-san, but you're the one teaching me, so whatever you say. Standing up to walk away, Joshiro turned to speak. That's another thing. When we train, don't think of me as your brother. I'm your sensei. Don't call me Ni-san out here. Call me Big Boss. You do that until you can beat me, all right? Jumping up to salute him, Naruto answered, Hi Big Boss. Smiling as he walked away, Joshiro waved back at his brother. All right, that was hilarious. Now what does the old man want now? Hope I'm not busted for something. XXX. Joshiro had been summoned to the Hokage Tower earlier that day. However, being how he was a civilian, he really didn't care about punctuality. Strolling up to the door again, he smiled and gave a two-fingered salute to the secretary he strolled past the first time he appeared in the tower. She simply smiled back and let him enter. Kicking the door open once more, he simply ignored the look on Sarutobi's face as he took a seat. What's up, old man? You called for me? Yes, I did. 6 hours ago, Sarutobi said while glaring at Joshiro. He simply shrugged, saying, Well, I thought I'd switch it up a bit. Keep those brittle old bones of yours on your toes. Make sure you don't get complacent. A sheepish grin found its way upon his face after that statement. Sarutobi gave him a dry look. Quite, well, the reason I asked you here today is so that we can get to the bottom of a few things. Now Joshiro has a very good poker face. His skill to bluff by keeping a straight face even in uncomfortable situations is an impressive trait. Even so, he had been fearing the repercussions of his foot-to-ass reprimanding of the middle-aged man for weeks now. Well, let's get to it then, sir. Damn it. I knew that fight was a bad idea. These old geezers stick together. Oh, I'm gonna be playing bass in hell. Sensing his compliancy, Sarutobi continued, Well, we know next to nothing about you except that you can fight and that Naruto likes you. As fine and good as that is, we need to know more about you if we can let you stay here. Joshiro's features by this point had finally shown his nerves at the situation in front of him. Well, alright, I guess that's fair. I mean, I could be a spy. I understand. Well, sit back and get comfortable because this could take a while. Taking the look on the old man's face and the pace at which he was smoking as a sign to proceed, he began. Well, I was born quite a ways away from this place. I used to live outside of the capital of the Land of Fire. My dad was one of the elite guards of the daimyo, so he had a good little bit of property outside of the city. He and my mom lived there until he trailed off, not really trusting himself to keep speaking. Joshiro, it is quite all right. You don't really have to continue. Sarutobi tried to reason. No, it's alright. I haven't told anyone what really happened, no one knows this stuff, it feels good to tell someone about it. He took a deep breath before resuming the story. Well, one day I was outside while my mom was gardening, we weren't doing anything, she just liked being outside. He smiled for a second before his features hardened over. I saw my dad run out to meet my mother, they were too far away, so I couldn't hear them, but the look on their faces, it was like someone had drained them of their blood. They took me inside, and we didn't leave for days. He shifted before continuing, none of us went outside, but my dad, he was always at his desk in the basement, just reading, writing, he barely ate, slept, just worked. They were so paranoid, they were so scared and I didn't know why until it was too late. Sarutobi moved from behind his desk, his curiosity was piqued, then what Jushiro, please continue. Jushiro nodded, a strange man showed up on day, my mom just hurried me into my room and told me to stay there. I thought it was a joke, I didn't know so I left while they were speaking, and listened in. It was some small talk until the man said something that upset my dad, and then it all went to hell. Jushiro-kun, what did he say? By now he had suspicions on just who exactly it was, but he needed to hear the rest. I couldn't make out the conversation, it was a lot of big words that I didn't understand, but I did understand one thing he said, right before the shit hit the fan. Immortality. Now if Sarutobi had his suspicions beforehand, then he had the answer screaming in his head and he beckoned Jushiro to keep going. My dad pulled his sword out, started swinging, but the guy just kept slipping right out of the path. He just laughed and kicked my dad, he kicked him so hard he flew out the front door and the guy just kept coming at him. My mom ran to the basement and started gathering up all of dad's stuff and sealed it. She picked me up and ran outside to see my dad just getting beaten down by him. It was terrible, but my dad just yelled, "Get Jushiro out of here, go now." And we just ran, and then mom stopped. She scribbled out a note and said to open it much later, she told me to stay safe and just hide, that she'd be right back, and then she just started running back to the house. A tear slipped from Jushiro's eye as he picked up. I hid so long that I fell asleep. I got so sick of waiting, I went home, I just wanted to see my parents, go inside, to just be there. But when I made it back I saw my house, or should I say the foundation, it was totally destroyed, I didn't see my parents, I didn't see anything. So I just ran again, I just kept moving, I ran, walked, swam, just tried to get as far away as I could, eventually I ended up in Resemble, and I ended up staying with the Rockbells for 2 years, then we took that trip here and bam. Sarutobi had a few more questions for the boy. Jushiro, who was it that did this? Do you remember what he looks like? Jushiro gave the Sandaime a hard look. I'll give you one better, old man, his name is Orochimaru. Sarutobi was shocked. Jushiro, do you know who that is? That's. Yeah, I know who he is. I knew he had to be pretty damn strong to kick my dad's ass like that, but I learned his name from my mom's note. One of the things it said was, "Beware Orochimaru," among other things. Sarutobi had to ask, how do you know who he is? Jushiro snorted, you kidding. My dad was a bodyguard of the daimyo, it would have negligence if he didn't know a dangerous motherfucker like that. My mom knew too, and it was all in her note. Sarutobi blinked. Jushiro-kun, you never said what was in the note. He smirked lightly. Oh yeah, I didn't, did I? Well, it was pretty much a goodbye note, but it had quite a few instructions for me, an idea of what was going on, and an explanation of what was in my dad's notes that she sealed. Sarutobi took on a look as he took a puff of his pipe. Yes, but what did your father have that was so important? Jushiro stood up. Well, my dad was an elite guard, but what made him really top-notch wasn't actually his fighting, you see he specialized in science. Science, Sarutobi said in a disbelieving fashion. Jushiro sighed, he hated explaining this to people, not just some old garden variety stuff like physics or something, this was huge. Have you ever heard of alchemy? What? Sarutobi said before choking, alchemy ***, the old science of making gold. Jushiro got a little chuckle off of that. Close, old man. Alchemy is breaking down the matter of things to their base elements and rebuilding them, usually in a different form. I learned it all from my dad's notes. Mom sealed everything, from his first notes to theory he was working on before he died. I assume that was why Orochimaru killed him. Well, Jushiro-kun, could you tell me about that theory, and prove that this alchemy you speak of is real? Again Joshiro chuckled as he walked over to the desk, placing his hand behind a clock on the table. Whoops. Quote. He said before knocking it to the floor and stomping on it, shattering it. Noting Sarutobi's increasingly angered look, he decided to get on with it. Calm down, check it out. He drew what looked to Sarutobi like a seal, however it was far more intricate, and then set all pieces of the clock in the circle. Check it out, old man, you're gonna crap your pants after this. Placing his hands on the edge of the circle, light began generating and flashing until it settled. The seal was gone and the clock was fixed. Sarutobi stood with his mouth wide open, staring in disbelief. Joshiro just placed the clock back on the desk and walked back to the couch. I'm still working on new ways to set up my transmutation circles because, as you can imagine, drawing these bitches is a pain in the ass, and sorry I really can't tell you what my dad's notes say. Before Sarutobi could open his mouth to respond, Joshiro continued, I'm sorry, yes you are the Hokage, but this is out of your jurisdiction. Being in this village I've seen all of those clan families and I'm pretty damn sure that they all have secrets, so I guess I'll have mine too. I just don't trust you enough to let you know about this stuff. Sighing in defeat, Sarutobi smirked as he remembered the real reason he had summoned Joshiro to his office this day. Well, now that that business is handled, I guess I have to let you in on the first of my terms for you and Naruto. Joshiro looked at him inquisitively as Sarutobi continued, remember how I said both you and Naruto were going to get an education? Joshiro's eyes narrowed, I don't think I like the way that sounds too much. Sarutobi waved off Joshiro's suspicion. Nonsense, Joshiro, this is what Naruto will have to do if he wants to start being a ninja, and you, well, while you are a little old for a beginner's class, one don't think you really need the classes like that. I think I'll just put you in the class for kids your age. Damn it, Sarutobi, you'd better be kidding. I don't want to be a friggin' ninja and I sure as hell don't want to go to school. Let the brat go. Joshiro fumed. The old man took a puff from his pipe. No, Joshiro-kun, I believe you might enjoy it, and besides you need to meet some children like you and Naruto. Joshiro gave him a hard look. I don't think we'll ever meet any kids like Naruto and myself. If he wants to do it he can, but I'd rather do other things. You know, like be a damn blacksmith. I need to find one around here so that I can work for him. Sarutobi continued to reason with him. Joshiro, I can find ways for you to get your experience in a smithy. I would really like you to become a Konoha shinobi. I believe you can be an asset, and with you helping Naruto out, then that will give him a better chance of succeeding in the end. What do you say? Fine. Damn. I'll be a fucking academy student, but I'm not taking any bullcrap, and he's not jumping in until next semester. I need to make sure he doesn't get screwed over by his lack of basic knowledge. I'll tutor him my damn self until next semester with the stuff I learn in class myself. Sarutobi quickly agreed, knowing things about Naruto that Joshiro and Naruto himself didn't know, namely a gigantic demon fox sealed in his stomach. Right on, I'll get cracking on that tomorrow. See you, old man, Joshiro said while walking out of his office. Good luck, Joshiro, I hope you and Naruto are ready for this. XXX. After returning to the apartment and grabbing Naruto, they left to get dinner, and this is where we find our two protagonists now. Joshiro often let Naruto pick, and over the last few months he learned that the young blonde was utterly obsessed with ramen, a fixation that neither Joshiro could understand nor could Naruto explain. When asked soon after they began living together, Naruto's response was, I don't know, it's just good. Kid, we can't eat this every damn night, it cannot be good for you. Joshiro said as Naruto had just finished another bowl. Ah, come on, Nissan, it's so good. Damn it, kid, seriously, this is too much. Come on, you guys, you've got to help me out here. Talk to the brat here. Joshiro said, gesturing to Tsuki and Ayami. I don't know, Joshiro-kun, if this is what Naruto-kun wants to eat, you should let him. Ayami said. PFFT, yeah sure, I mean it's not like he's eating at your stand or anything, right? That earned him a glare from Ayami and Tsuki as he continued. For Kami's sake, you guys, if this is all he has, then his height won't top out over 5 feet 6. This got Naruto's attention. No way, Shiro, ramen is so good, I'll eat it every day I can. Joshiro just stared before speaking to the Ichirakis. What the hell did you guys do to him when he first came here? Did you slip some heroin in the broth or something? Because I swear that this cannot be natural. After the meal, Joshiro chose to speak about his meeting with the Sandaime Hokage that day. You know you're going to school next semester, right? Naruto snapped to attention on his stool. Nani? Me. Really? Joshiro picked his teeth while speaking. Yeah, but I've got to make sure you actually know something about anything before you start because, and I'm sure these guys will agree, you're a dumbass. Tsuki and Ayami were nodding at Joshiro's accurate statement while Naruto was just too happy to care. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a ninja. Yeah, hot damn. XXX. Joshiro was pissed, very pissed. His day at the academy was nothing short of a mind-numbing experience. He went expecting to learn infiltration, and better combat skills than he had. This was not what had occurred. The majority of the day was spent inside, and when he had asked an instructor exactly what students of every year would be learning, he came to a realization. He had a year of in-class learning before he ever really got to use practical skills, and poor Naruto had 5 years of almost no practical application, all the things Joshiro would teach him, and he would have almost no outlet. Kicking the door of the apartment open after school, he was greeted by Naruto. Hi Ni-san. How is school? What's it like? Is it fun? How many people do you get to beat up? Joshiro, not wanting to break his brother's heart before he ever even started, simply stooped down, gave him a hug and walked to his room, leaving a confused Naruto in the living room before a yell broke his stupor. Naruto, go get ready, someone's got to teach you something useful, damn it. A few minutes later, Naruto had met his brother out behind the apartments once again when he beckoned him to follow deep into the forest until they reached a grassy clearing. Alright, you little bastard, from now on when we train we will be meeting here, understood? Joshiro barked. Hi big boss, understood, was the response from Naruto. Joshiro walked around Naruto a few times before speaking. Yesterday was not a training exercise, it was meant to show me exactly what I have to teach you and how good you are. And with the knowledge of our session I have learned one thing and one thing only from you, you suck. He paused for a moment for added effect. For the next 5 years you are my bitch. I say push-ups, you don't even get to ask how many, you simply get down and belly up until I say stop. I say run, you don't say how far, you fucking run until I personally stop you. He said to a now frightened Naruto. I will make you do terrible things, I am going to scar your psyche, I am going to break you down to build you back up. By the time I'm done you will never complain about any conditions on any missions you may have. Stopping in front of Naruto, he continued his rant. Every morning before school we will be coming out here working on your technique in many different areas, and when I believe you are seasoned enough at something I do not want mistakes. For every mistake you will pay. If you miss a kata or a transition, you run a mile. If your kunai and shuriken miss your target from a pathetic range, you run a mile. If you break or lose my stuff when I teach you how to use weapons, I'll break my foot off in your ass, and then you'll run 2 miles. He finished to a now shell-shocked Naruto. Any questions, Naruto? No, big boss. Good. Now Naruto, how would you like to learn something no one else can do? Yeah, I'd love to, big boss. Well then, let me begin teaching you something about alchemy. XXX. And so this was how it would go. 5 a.m. Naruto and Joshiro would wake up, eat, and go train. Joshiro's training for the morning consisted of working on hand-to-hand combat forms, brutal strength and conditioning training which would vary from running laps around the village, squats with fallen logs, push-ups, and running laps with a cart full of chopped wood around the village. They would finish up the morning with a sparring session in which Joshiro would proceed to beat the crap out of Naruto. 7 a.m. Joshiro would leave and go to school. Naruto would read the notes and study theories on alchemy. The reason he studied at home was because Joshiro was a firm believer in pop quizzes, and if he found that Naruto wasn't trying to learn the secret skill he had tried to teach him, then he would proceed to torment Naruto relentlessly when he came home. Therefore Naruto was forced to apply himself to learning, or suffer. 10 a.m. Naruto would complete the daily task set about for Naruto. These would range from more laps and physical training, to checking around for a blacksmith looking to apprentice Joshiro, to returning his overdue books and videos, to just cleaning the house. Naruto believed he was just using him for menial labor, but Joshiro insisted there was a reason for it all. When these tasks were complete he would just get lunch or go home and crash out for a few hours. 3 p.m. Joshiro would come home, go over Naruto's day, review his progress and handle his own after-school training, usually alone. He did it alone because after one particularly stressful day in school Naruto wanted to tag along because he still had energy. Joshiro, being in a nasty mood that day, took it as an excuse to run Naruto into the ground with difficult tasks no 6-year-old should ever do. Needless to say Naruto was not very eager to get into that stuff until he had to. 7 p.m. Dinner. Joshiro had taken it upon himself to wean Naruto off of ramen, which was not as successful as he had hoped. At first Naruto would pout when something else was served, he'd even physically fight if Joshiro had tried to serve vegetables. However, eventually Naruto started showing up at dinner with instant ramen cups. When Joshiro took them from him, it touched off a conflict between the two brothers. Naruto and Joshiro ended up waging guerrilla warfare against one another. Naruto would find places to stash his cups and Joshiro would find them and lock them up. He started hiding them in his room, under his bed or in his drawers or closets, but the longer they lived together the more complex the hiding places ended up being. At one point a hiding place consisted of him actually hiding a few at Ichiraku Ramen, the last place he thought he would ever look. Despite the clashing of personalities, the two did enjoy living together. Taking care of Naruto was not nearly as hard as Joshiro thought it would be and he had a blast messing with the kid. Naruto took Joshiro's chop busting in stride, even getting in his own digs at his big brother, which set the stage for his future pranking habits. Even so, he was immensely enjoying Joshiro's company and attention that he had wanted just a few months prior. XXX. Eventually the day had finally come where Naruto had to enter the academy. The clothes Naruto wore had changed, he no longer wore shorts. Joshiro had gone out and purchased him an orange hoodie that Naruto liked for the long sleeves because it covered his auto-mail arm that he still felt sensitive about. He covered his hand by wrapping it up so that no trace of it was seen. Along with that he wore blue cargo pants that he liked for the pockets. Naruto had a habit of carrying things such as steel marbles in place of shuriken, ink bombs and other things. The reason for this being that even after Joshiro's run-in with the village man months before, people still tried to harm Naruto, just not in the presence of his brother. His training now allowed him to properly escape and defend himself. Using the things in his pockets as replacements for true ninja tools, he was able to get in a little training as well. Hey, little buddy, you ready for today? Joshiro asked his younger brother. Naruto looked up with a grin. Yeah, you bet, Ni-san, I'll graduate in no time. Joshiro chuckled. Oh no you won't, trust me. That's good, but I need you to make me a promise, okay Naruto? Naruto nodded. I need you to keep from using any alchemy while you're at school. It would be way too much of an issue if someone started snooping around us because you did something like that, so I need you to swear that you won't do it no matter what. Naruto looked hurt for a moment but accepted. Okay Ni-san, if you really want me to then I won't. I guess I'll just kick everyone's ass without alchemy, so here. He handed over the portable transmutation circles that he and Joshiro had invented. With the help of Naruto, Joshiro had found a way to transmutate on the fly. It was a small-scale piece of paper with a handwritten circle on it. The effects, however, were very small. In order for a large reaction, he still had to draw out the circle himself, but it was still a step in the right direction. Joshiro considered Naruto an equal when it came to alchemy because he didn't really teach much. He just gave him the notes and a few pointers. Naruto had studied and run his own practices. The fact was that Naruto had shown Joshiro almost as much as Joshiro had shown him. They were both crawling through the dark. They had no teacher, just themselves and a few notes to go off of. To be fair, he himself didn't even use alchemy in school. He saw the jutsu they were required to learn as well as a few of the students' family techniques and kekai genkai, and he figured that playing his hand close the vest was best for now, so he told Naruto to do the same. Alright then, if you're ready then, let's move out, Joshiro said, opening the door to leave the apartment. Naruto ran behind him with a huge smile on his face. Yosh, let's go Ni-san, this is gonna be awesome. Joshiro had to keep a close eye and a decent grip on Naruto at all times on the walk to the academy. Several different times on the way over, Naruto had gotten overexcited and tried to go on a full-out sprint to the school only to be caught repeatedly. In an effort to calm his little brother down and make sure he didn't pull any dumbass mistakes on his first day, he drilled instructions into Naruto's head. Alright Spaz, calm down, now tell me everything that I told you earlier. This seemingly calmed him down. Sighing before answering, he slowed down to Joshiro's pace. Come on Shiro, I know. Planting a hand on his brother's head, Joshiro smirked. Well then tell me, list everything I told your dumbass this morning before we left the house. Damn it, fine, you said no alchemy no matter what. You said keep the arm wrapped, but I was gonna do that anyway. Don't beat up the kids too bad in spars, don't skip class, without clearing it with you first. Watch my language, kind of weird coming from you. When I want to take the grad exam early, I have to clear it with you and Hokage Gigi first. Don't start fights, just finish them. Naruto said while counting off on his fingers, and if I lose then you're gonna kick my ass. Sniff would be easier if you'd let me use alchemy though. Smirking, Joshiro pulled out the confiscated transmutation papers. Maybe, but sorry about your damn luck, you're not done, you still have one left. Thinking hard, Naruto's face lit up. Oh yeah, don't take any bullshit. Good boy. Joshiro said, you're ready. I hope. Coming in sight of the school, Joshiro took note of some of the kids Naruto's age, or more accurately, their parents. Quite a few he had noted, were smiling until they saw Naruto come up. He was pretty sure the only thing that stopped at least one from coming up and trying to chase Naruto away was the fact that the ones he thought would were civilians, and by now every civilian was well aware of the smack that was laid down upon a man known for attacking him by the white-haired red-eyed alchemist. Therefore, as long as the young blonde was in Joshiro's direct presence, no normal person was dumb enough to pick a fight. This was enough of a reason for him to keep Naruto back with him, because he was very sure that a few clan families didn't have any qualms about starting a fight with him. Before he could start wasting time any further with Naruto while waiting for the doors to open, he was broken from his train of action. Jushiro over here. In response to the shout, Naruto and Joshiro turned their heads to see a brunette girl with her hair down and a few bangs in front with brown eyes running towards them. She had on a white long-sleeved short cut to expose her shoulders and a yellow skirt. Joshiro smiled as the girl came closer. Hello Eiko, how are you today? The girl, Eiko, beamed a smile in response to Joshiro. I'm fine Joshiro-kun, are you ready for this semester? Joshiro's face took on a grimace. Yeah, I'm so ready to sit in a dingy room for 4 more months learning stupid facts and ninja theories. Kami, I swear I did cooler stuff back in Resemble than here. Eiko slapped him lightly on the shoulder. Come on Joshiro-kun, only 3 more semesters and we can finally be ninja. Finally taking notice of the child behind Joshiro, Eiko spoke up. Hey Joshiro-kun, who is this? Moving aside to expose Naruto, Joshiro spoke up. This is my little brother. You know, the one I've been telling you and blank about for the last few months. He's finally starting here. Naruto took a moment before speaking. Hi there, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, Shiro's little brother. Nice to meet you. Eiko gave Naruto an appraising look. You're the brother he's been talking about. Naruto nodded. Joshiro-kun, he doesn't look like you. How can he be your Ototo? Joshiro chuckled and ruffled his little brother's hair. Well, he damn sure might as well be. He's my brother in everything else but blood. Naruto felt empowered by his brother's words and got some braggadocio back. Yeah, this is my Ni-san. I don't care what anybody says. And anyway, who are you? I've never seen you before. How do you know Big Boss? Joshiro and Eiko smirked at the nickname Naruto had given Joshiro before responding. Well, I'm one of your brother's friends, Eiko Tanahashi. She paused to shake Naruto's hand before proceeding. I know your brother because I'm in his class. I'm one of his only friends. Naruto looked confused. Why? What's wrong? Why don't people like Big Boss? Joshiro palmed his forehead while Eiko smirked when another voice came out of nowhere. It's because of what happened last semester when he just showed up out of the blue. Into their frame of vision they saw a kid with dark red hair standing a foot above his head. On his head he wore a visor. He had on a black tank top and blue jean shorts. Eiko and Joshiro looked happy to see him. Blank, took you long enough to get here. You could have been late. Eiko said. Sorry you guys, you know I don't believe in alarm clocks, they're evil. Blank said while walking over. Upon seeing Naruto he introduced himself. Hey kid, I assume you're Joshiro's little brother Naruto? Well, I am Blank Nogami, one of Joshiro's friends as well as the girl over there. And the reason is a very long story, that we don't have time to tell, time to go. As he said that, the doors to the academy were open for students to enter. Well, I hope I see you later Naruto-kun. Joshiro, don't be late. Come on Blank, let's go. Eiko said while dragging Blank away to class. Joshiro motioned for Naruto to follow him inside. Come on brat, we better find your classroom. Naruto was slightly upset, but Big Boss, I didn't meet anybody my own age. Joshiro flicked his ear making Naruto recoil. What do you think you'll be doing when you first get to class? Come on kid, common sense, develop some. Naruto growled, fuck you Joshiro, I'm actually smart. Well, I'm kind of smart, okay, but I'm not totally dumb. I do know alchemy after all NE. Joshiro just shook his head. Yeah Ototo, I guess that's true. Here we are, room 210, good luck you little bastard, and remember. Naruto growled as he walked into the classroom. Yeah, okay, I know, no alchemy, you only told me like a billion times. Joshiro just stood at the door smiling. I know, but pissing you off is fun, you're any little buddy. Naruto took in the aesthetics of the room. It was fairly large, with desks in rows, one row rising behind the one ahead to the back wall. He was somehow the first one in the room, so he simply took a seat in the very middle. He took notice of the ones entering. The first was a young man with a high ponytail and a scar across his face. He assumed this man to be their teacher. The man had a look on his face. Naruto had seen this face a lot, not the look of hatred, but the look of apathy. He didn't seem to care about Naruto. It showed he was willing to tolerate him, but not much more than that. Naruto had no idea how to handle things. In trying to get a read on the man, Naruto hadn't noticed the class begin to fill up until one boy, bigger than Naruto, walked up to where he was sitting. He could sense an incident about to happen. Hey, kid, this is my seat, so go ahead and get up. Naruto raised his head with a challenging look on his face. Really? Because I don't really see any labels around here, so I think I'll stay put. My butt has the chair all warm and everything too, so yeah, I think I'll stay. The larger boy was angry. Don't you know who I am? I'm the number 2 student in here, you just showed up. Naruto, still yet to move, put a smirk on his features. I don't care, a classroom and a fight are 2 entirely different places to label yourself. You've probably never even been in one before. Naruto stood up to stare into the boy's eyes. And I can take a guess that you've never taken a real punch before. Hell, the only saving grace from your little rant I can tell you about is that you didn't call yourself second strongest, instead of just second best. Naruto opened his mouth to continue before he was interrupted. All of you shut up. Suddenly all students in the room sat down with the exception of Naruto and his new enemy. The boy looked like a deer caught in the headlight. Meanwhile Naruto looked at the teacher with a look of amusement on his face. Having never seen Big Head no Jutsu before, he found it slightly funny. Takada, take a seat. The boy quickly snagged the seat recently vacated by Naruto. And you, the new arrival, take a different seat elsewhere. Naruto looked back with a sheepish grin. Yeah, sorry about that, I just hate bullies and these seats aren't labeled Mr. He trailed off, giving the man a chance to give his name. You can call me Iruka-sensei. Naruto looked back while walking to an empty seat in the back. Okay, understood, you know you could have told me about that when you came in. It might have prevented a scene, but I hope this doesn't lower my standing any. A random boy shouted out, what standing? You're the bottom of the bottom in here. Which introduced a cacophony of laughter which Iruka once again had to quell. After it was over he began calling roll. Naruto took this opportunity to take notice of people he thought would be interesting. People of note in the room he thought were worth paying attention to were Shino Aburame. He sat at the same level as Naruto, however he sat in the middle whereas Naruto sat in the corner. He seemed kind of weird, but as Joshiro's code had taught Naruto, weird doesn't mean better or worse, just different. Chuji Akamaiki, he was a chubby kid, and he seemed to always be eating, but he seemed like a nice enough guy to Naruto. Chuji sat next to Shikamaru Nara. He couldn't really tell much about him, he seemed kind of lazy. Sakura Haruno sat down around the middle of the classroom. She seemed cute to Naruto, but he was reserving judgment until they had actually spoken. Ino Yamanaka sat right next to Sakura. Apparently the two were quite close. That was a good thing for him. If he could get close to one of them, then he could be friends with both. Kiba Inuzuka seemed kind of smug and brash. After hearing him talk a bit, Naruto decided to place him in the potential douchebag category. When the name Hinata Hyuga came up, Naruto barely heard the response. While he did think she was a little too timid, he had admitted that he thought her eyes were pretty cool. He was quickly snapped from his contemplation when the next name was called, Sasuke Uchiha. The majority of the girls in the class just started fawning over him, but Naruto noticed something else. Upon closer inspection, Naruto came to a horrifying conclusion. This kid had every single telltale warning sign of a douchebag that Joshiro's code had warned him about. From the attitude, to the perpetually sour and dreary look on his face, to his holier-than-thou aura surrounding him. However, the thing that showed him how close to full-on douchebag young Sasuke was had to have been the popped collar. His shirt would have been considered a damn turtleneck sweater if the area around the neck had been tight, but he had to take his appearance as it was. Being that it was loose, it was a popped collar by Naruto standards, and to him that was fucking frightening. Okay, first douchebag of the year, this might suck a little bit. XXX. The morning was not very kind to Naruto. All they had done was village history, and ninja theories, and Naruto was anxious and confused. Come on already, why do I need to know this crap? I mean, who cares if old guy number 1 fought old guy number 2 at random place A? That crap won't save me in a fight. His face clearly showing disdain for the current setting. Ninja theory had gone almost as bad. At least Naruto had some kind of knowledge of strategy and tactics. Even if he had no knowledge, Joshiro had told him that planning was not his forte. That much like himself, Naruto would probably be a direct combat type, and refrain from teaching Naruto strategy. This was fine with Naruto, because he thought that would help turn him into a brick shithouse, like Joshiro. However, the future for his grades did not look too bright. Lunch came around, and as all of the students headed outside to eat, Naruto decided to use this time to actually find some of the kids he had taken notice of. Easiest to Shikamaru and Chuji, but before he could get within speaking range of the two, he was cut off. The boy form earlier, now identified as Takada, had blocked his, was flanked by 2 other random boys. So you thought it was over after Iruka-sensei saved you, huh? Naruto, no stranger to a 3-on-1 situation, readied himself for anything. For a second there, yeah, I actually did. The boys decided to close in on Naruto as Takada continued, yeah, well, no one's here for you now, no sensei, no crazy brother of yours, you're all alone. Naruto took up his stance out of necessity. A mistake, you thinking that I need anyone to protect me? Come then, I'm still hungry and you've wasted my entire lunch with your bullshit. Now, having been a victim of mob assaults early on in his life, Naruto knew the quickest way to disperse an unruly crowd: take out the leader and the followers will falter. Gotta take him out quick, or else. Takada's muscles tensed as he leapt forward for his charge. I'm gonna show you, yo Hog. Naruto had closed the distance quickly and hit a quick sweeping elbow to the body and a flat swinging hook to the face of the boy. As he stumbled back, reminiscent of how his brother followed up on his openings, he landed a flying knee to Takada's head, sending him flying back into a table. Naruto looked up and smirked as the crowd quickly vanished. Ha ha, take the head out and the bitches break off. Checking the clock, he was pleased to see that he still had 15 more minutes, so he continued walking towards Shikamaru and Chuji, who had seen the whole thing. Arriving to a stand still a few feet away, he stopped and spoke. Wow, I wonder if this is how everybody treats new kids. Shikamaru answered, that guy was troublesome anyway, you were right this morning, he'd never fought anyone before you and I don't think he will after this either. Chuji simply nodded his head in agreement before continuing to eat. Naruto rubbed the back of his head, smiling. Like I said, I hate bullies. I'm Naruto, how it going? Shikamaru took the effort to reach out and shake his hand. I'm Shikamaru, and this guy over here is Choji. Nice to meet you. Shortly after introductions, the bell rang to re-enter class. As he was about to retake his corner seat, Naruto saw Chuji and Shikamaru summon him over to their area. Huh, maybe being stuck in class won't be so bad. I'd still rather fight than read a book though. XXX. 4 years later. Another day of horrifying horror in school, Naruto said as he took his seat. I'm so sick of this place. Big Boss hasn't been here for 2 years now. I just want to graduate already so I can start kicking some ass. Hey, calm down Naruto, it'll be over soon, then we'll have to go on troublesome missions all the time. Man, my dad tells me all the time about the things he has to do. Shikamaru said with his head down on the desk. Besides, just yelling about things never solved anything for you, has it? Yeah, I guess, but seriously, damn it, I'm so bored in here all day. Big Boss's tough ass training is more fun than this, and that shit is torture. Naruto said while rocking back in his chair. I mean, at least your dad tells you stuff. Big Boss won't tell me anything about his missions. He just smiles and laughs when I ask. I really just want to graduate so I can at least see all the kick-ass things my Nissan goes through. Shut up Naruto Barker. The way things are going for you, you'll never graduate. Sakura said, who was then seconded by Ino. Yeah Naruto, I mean you can't even make a bunshin. How could someone like you ever graduate? Naruto, not fazed by their insults, simply stayed seated. So because I can't make a bunshin, you all are counting me out of the running? As far as I'm concerned, Sakura-chan, for all of your book smarts, if either of you ever had to fight me, you'd lose, because you can't fight, and I'm a killer in orange clothing. Naruto had now taken to wearing an orange vest almost like his brother's olive one, except underneath it he had a long blue shirt with his auto-mail arm still wrapped in combat wrap. Suspicion was drawn to his arm when during sparring sessions whenever he wanted to end a fight he'd drop an arm technique with the right arm, he called it his miracle right. His cover story for keeping it wrapped was that it was an old nagging injury that had to be covered at all times. No one questioned it because the only people that really knew of his attack when he was 6 were the Sandime Hokage, the Rockbells, the few doctors who had kept him from dying and were sworn to secrecy, and Joshiro himself. Just be quiet, Dobe, it's not just your Bunshin, your Kawarimi and Henge aren't too hot either, I'd be shocked myself if you actually graduated. These words directed the attention of 92% of the female population in the classroom straight to Sasuke Uchiha. Size of, "You're so cool Sasuke," or, "I love you Sasuke," could be heard as the Uchiha spoke to Naruto. "You're the dead last for a reason, you know, all of the academy jutsu are too much for you." "Huh. Oh hey Sasuke, what's up? I wasn't really listening to you, I was thinking of exactly how I'm gonna bribe Big Boss into letting me have ramen tonight." Ignoring the distressed and angry cries of Sasuke's rabid fangirls, Naruto knew he did have a point. His entire time in school he had problems using chakra. It wasn't until recently that the answer to his problem was discovered by Joshiro. Most ninja use two hands to form hand signs and mold chakra for jutsu, however a lack of a chakra network in Naruto's auto-male arm hindered his ability to do so. In reality, the entire time he had been learning jutsu he had been doing so one-handed. This would continue to get worse as he would try to learn more difficult techniques. However, the problem was recently solved by Winry, who when told of Naruto's problem, worked on an arm of an entirely different model. In place of some of the metal's density and durability, she had somehow formed an artificial chakra network for Naruto's use. The expenses had been paid by Joshiro, who had been a genin for almost 3 years at that point. After his new arm was attached, he found Kawarimi and Henge much easier than he had prior to the replacement. However, he still had problems with his Bunshin. Not even his brother could help with his problem. "The final exam is in 1 week. I have to graduate. Big Boss will kick my ass if I fail." Due to his lack of chakra control and apathy towards bookwork, Naruto was the dead last in class. A major reason he had gotten so far to this point was because of his ability when it came to practical application. His routine brutal spars with Joshiro gave him a big leg up over students who had been coddled by the instructors, but the fact was that without Joshiro, Naruto would never spar. After the first few sparring sessions he almost never got to fight other students. Iruka, who had ignored Naruto at first, had been the only teacher who gave the boy any help, but having a class full of students kept him from helping too much. His stealth was fantastic due to intense tests against Joshiro and his friends Eiko and Blank, but in school these things were covered sparsely so he couldn't show off very much. His accuracy with throwing weapons were pretty good, however at school his shuriken would bounce off of his targets. His terrible practice equipment always handed out by other instructors was never up to snuff. Regardless, he never told anyone about his treatment. As far as he was concerned he could handle his own problems, that and Joshiro would overreact and maybe blow up the school out of spite. Nevertheless, he had to figure out a way to get the clone jutsu down. "Maybe Big Boss can give me some help. He always knew what to do before when I had trouble with my jutsu." He resolved to ask about it when he got home that day. XXX. Dear Naruto. What's up, Runt? I'm sorry but I'm not going to be in town for a couple of weeks. My team finally got another C-ranked mission so we're going to be gone for a while. I'm sorry little guy, but I'm probably going to miss your graduation exam, but it's okay, I know you'll give. Hell kid, so I'll be sure to grill you about the details when we get back. Eiko says to keep your ass out of trouble, and to communicate better, but I don't really know what she said because I wasn't paying attention. I've left you quite a bit of money to eat. I don't want you eating at Ichiraku's every damn day, but I can't stop you now, so have at it. Keep yourself safe and don't take any shit like I always tell you to, and adhere to the code. Later Naruto, I'll see you soon. Sincerely, Joshiro Moyomoto. P.S. If you do actually fail, I'm gonna kick your ass, then I'm gonna bust your balls for 6 months. Yarne. Damn it Joshiro, what the hell am I going to do now? I'm screwed. Naruto grabbed a bottle of water from the refrigerator before heading to their training spot. It's crunch time and I'm out of options. As he was turning around in the kitchen he found a scroll on the table. The note attached said, "To my dumbass little brother, here's a new jutsu for your punk ass. Enjoy and thank me later." Opening the scroll he found the jutsu, Futon, Daytopper, Wind Release. Great breakthrough. Wow. Okay boss, I guess there's nothing I can do now. All I can do is try learning something. After going out back and going over the motions, he figured it was time to make an attempt. Okay, here we go, let's give it a shot. Futen, Daitopper. The jutsu let out a monstrous gust of wind prior to destroying a fairly large plot of trees. Wow, I guess I better watch how I use that one. Well, hot damn then. Naruto refrained from practicing further due to the destruction he reaped with his first attempt. Well, fun's over, now let's get that damn Bunshin down pat. XXX. Fuck my luck, Naruto's week attempting to get a decent clone together had not yielded fruitful results. No matter how many times he tried, all he could get were sickly, dead-looking replicas. Iruka drummed him right out even with Mizuki's attempts to pass the boy. Naruto now sat outside on the swing in front of the academy, subjected to listening to all the praise given to children who had actually graduated and hearing the veiled shots taken at him from a distance. He barely noticed Mizuki's arrival behind him. Mizuki-sensei, what do you need from me? He said to the silver-haired man standing behind him. Naruto, I think I have something that is of great interest and importance to you, I think you should come with me. Mizuki gestured towards him. Naruto, not really having much to lose at this point, followed him. XXX. Kami, that was so easy. Naruto thought as he fled deep into the woods, that was a graduation exam. I'd much rather have done that than make a freaking clone. Stopping at a shrine, he considered that far enough away to begin his task. Alright then, let's see. Mizuki said I need to learn at least one jutsu from this scroll. Now let's see what we've got here. Damn it. A lot of these are different clone jutsu, of course they are, nothing is ever fucking easy, is it? Finding the two he decided to attempt, he steeled his temper. Alright, time to nut up or shut up. Let's get the damn Hate 8. 3 hours later, Naruto sat exhausted on the forest floor, scroll splayed across his lap. Kami, what a workout, those jutsu are drainers. But a smile of satisfaction found its way onto his lips. Now nobody can hold me back anymore, and Shiro won't beat my ass ragged. I finally found you, Naruto. Naruto looked back to see Iruka Umino with a perturbed look on his face. What do you think you're doing, Naruto? Naruto looked up from the ground at his sensei. Wow, sensei, you're good, I only had enough time to learn 2 jutsu from the scroll. Iruka looked at him in astonishment as he leapt to his feet. But everything is alright now, because you can pass me now. Iruka still looked stunned. Naruto, what are you? Naruto cut him off. That's how it works, isn't it, Iruka-sensei? If you learn a jutsu from the scroll, then you automatically graduate. His face turned from a look of shock to a look of suspicion. Naruto, who was it who told you that? Suddenly a barrage of kunai and shuriken came at both Iruka and Naruto, who dodged them. Very good, Naruto, now give me the scroll. Iruka was finally able to put 2 and 2 together. Don't do it, Naruto. Mizuki is deceiving you. Mizuki just started cackling. I've been deceiving you. Naruto, have you ever wondered why people treat you so terribly, why they ignore you in the streets, or worse, attack you? Naruto flashed back to the night he lost his arm and began shaking until Iruka yelled, Mizuki number. It's forbidden. Ignoring Iruka's pleas, Mizuki followed up, Naruto, you are the 9-tailed fox. Naruto was shocked. How could he not have been? He was just told that he was the reincarnation of the demon that almost destroyed the village. Suddenly his entire life began making sense. The glares, the attacks, the nasty names such as demon and monster that he had always been subjected to. It all makes sense. Even down to why I survived that night my arm was cut off. Was that what pulled me from behind the gate? I can only imagine. Naruto, floored by the new events presented to him, never heard what came next. Die, Naruto. Mizuki threw a Fuma shuriken towards Naruto, looking to end his life. Still stunned, Naruto's legs could not move from his place as he fell to the ground trying to escape. His death never came, as Iruka saw fit to block Naruto's body with his own. Iruka-sensei, why? Iruka had tears in his eyes as he spoke. I never hated you, Naruto. At first I saw you as the demon, but as I came to know you, you reminded me of myself. I know what it feels like to be alone. I never should have allowed something like that to happen. Mizuki still stood on his tree branch laughing. Don't believe that trash, Naruto. Mizuki hated you like all the rest. His parents were killed by the Kyuubi. How could he care about you? Iruka snapped. That's a lie, Mizuki. Iruka threw the Fuma shuriken back out of rage, but as he turned he saw Naruto running into the forest. Naruto! He yelled as he and Mizuki gave chase into the woods after the blonde. XXX. Everything he said, about caring, about how he believed in me, it was a lie. Naruto thought to himself as he fled, Iruka thinks I'm a demon, what about Big Boss? Does he know? What would he say? Thinking on this, he stopped running as he heard familiar voices. How do you know what he would do, Mizuki? Mizuki grinned insanely, because he's like me. Naruto will take the power of the hidden scroll and use it to burn Konoha to the ground. He will take vengeance on every single person who wronged him, because that's what demons do. Iruka smirked, you're right, Mizuki, that is what demons do. Naruto felt his heart sink at hearing those words, so that really is how he feels after all. Naruto thought as he stood up to flee further before more words halted him, but he's not a demon, he's Naruto Uzumaki, a ninja of Konoha. He works hard, and never gives up. Sure, he messes up, and people jump all over him, but he is strong, and he has more character than that. Naruto was almost brought to tears. He really does believe in me after all. He was broken from his musings by the sight of Mizuki rushing in to finish off Iruka. Naruto leapt from his hiding place to hit Mizuki with a flying knee, sending him flying backwards. If you ever lay a hand on my sensei, I'll kill you. Mizuki stood up enraged, you think you can beat me? I'll destroy you in one move. Naruto stood in a challenging posture, take your best shot, you poo, I'll send it back to you 1,000-fold. Mizuki set himself in a battle stance, show me what you've got then, Kyuubi. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The forest filled with copies of the young alchemist, all smirking in anticipation of the coming attack. Mizuki stood stunned as a few of the clones spoke up, hey Mizuki team, didn't you saw you'd destroy us in one shot? Well, if you aren't coming to us, we're coming to you. Mizuki let out an anguished scream as hundreds of metal fists decided to take their shots on the silver-haired Chunin. Standing in a now vacant field with a broken and beaten Mizuki, Naruto rubbed the back of his head with a sheepish look on his face, I guess I went a little overboard, huh? Iruka had a proud look on his face, Naruto, come here for a second and close your eyes for me. Doing as he was told, he felt something wrap around his head tightly, okay, now open your eyes. Naruto opened his eyes to reveal Iruka-san's Hitai 8, feeling it on his own head. Congratulations, Naruto. You pass. Naruto waited for a moment, taking in the feeling before mobbing Iruka with a hug. Oh, thank you, Iruka-sensei. Thank you so much. Naruto had felt that the first step towards becoming Hokage had just been taken. XXX. Joshiro, Eiko, and Blank were sitting by a river during a nighttime stop on their way back to Konoha when Joshiro felt a strange swelling of pride in a weird combination he'd never felt before. Huh, that's weird. Blank took quick notice of his teammate's strange state. Shiro, what's up? Something the matter? Shaking his head while clutching his chest, Joshiro said, no, nothing bad, I just got the feeling that someone close to me just kicked someone's ass. It feels good, you know. Maybe Naruto-kun did something cool, Joshiro-kun. Eiko chimed in while dipping her feet in the river, you know he wasn't going to stay out of trouble the entire time, right? Eiko said while elbowing Joshiro in the hip. Yeah, maybe, but didn't I tell him to stay out of trouble? Joshiro mused. Blank shrugged, yeah, but since when does he listen to you anyway? He said while shaking his head. Eiko cut back in, yeah, I swear you two have to be some kind of retarded, you both have the listening skills of a block of sharp cheddar cheese. Joshiro looked confused, huh? Did you two say something? I'm sorry, I was just thinking about how much of my money that brat blew on the Ichiraku ramen stand. That little punk is buying his own shit from now on. I ain't a fucking philanthropist. Eiko palmed her forehead and splashed Joshiro, and there's my point, Kami, you two really are brothers, huh? Whatever, Eiko, I just wish that I was there to warn him about the teams. If what he's been telling me is any hint, I think he's gonna be downright miserable. Poor little bastard. Blank and Eiko looked confused. What do you mean, Joshiro-kun? Joshiro stood up to walk back to camp. What I mean is that he's the dead last, and they balance out the teams. If you pay attention to when we go pick him up, you can guess what I mean. Watching their red-eyed teammate walk away, the two confused kids took on a look, as if their understanding just dawned. Oh man, that poor kid, he's gonna be miserable on his team. Blank said. Eiko nodded in agreement. All that Naruto-kun can hope for is that he gets promoted to Chunin quickly. Kami forbid he end up a genin as long as us. At least we like each other. I think he might end up killing his team. The two shrugged carelessly before Blank spoke. Oh well, the worst thing that can happen would be that he does actually kick their asses. I just hope I'm there to see it. Come on Aiko, let's go to bed. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.